two part of the ambidextrous thing?
2 terms.
Oh, okay.
You serve 2 terms. Okay, now, for this graph, the first thing I do is I make my asymptote 3 units higher. Some people who otherwise did some very good graphs forgot that part. Now, my y-intercept is 1 higher, so that's at 4. That's this point here, 0, 4. At -1, I have 3.367. Well, here's 3. I go up about a third from there. Here's 1. 5, 6, so 5.7-ish is about there. And if I've drawn this right, it should be the same graph as over there, lifted up, everything lifted up 3 units. So this is 1, 5.7, this is 0, 4, and this is -1, 3.4 if I round. All right?
This is basically what we've been doing, except with the E in it.
Except with the E in it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's really all you had to say.
Yeah, but I want to do a couple examples because a couple people screwed up the asymptote part. I'm going to do one more example because some people messed up this part too. Y equals nothing. Good try. -2 e to the k minus 3. Okay, here's my XY chart. Now, a lot of people on the test, not a lot, but some, I put a k plus or minus something, and they still use -1, 0, or 1. Saul, what are the 3 points I would like you to use if I have k minus 3?
-1, 0, 1.
Nope. Oh, come on, man. You were the one who gave me the other way to figure this out.
Oh, 3, 2, 4.
3, 2, and 4. Saul's figuring that out quickly because he's saying, all right, 3 will make k minus 3 equal to 0. So that's the same as this 0 number over here. Then go 1 up and 1 down from there, and you have the 3 corresponding points to -1, 0, and 1. I didn't initially teach it that way. I said, since k is always counterintuitive, you got a -3 here, add 3 to -1, 0, and 1, and it gives you the points I'm most interested in. Then from here, I said, you know what? As easy as it is to figure out -1, 0, and 1 when the original function is relatively simple, pull out your calculator and plug in, or do something similar. I'll do as far as I can without a calculator here. When I plug this in, I'm going to get -2 times e to the, what's 2 minus 3? -1. When I plug this in, I'm going to get -2 times e to the, what's 3 minus 3? 0. And when I plug 4 in, I'm going to get -2 times e to the 1. Here's something I could have made clearer before the test. The whole point to changing this to 2, 3, and 4 is what exponents do I get? -1, 0, 1. The -1, 0, 1, which I wanted here, are the exponents now, since I used 2, 3, and 4. And that's the point of that exercise. Does that make sense? All right, so this is going to be, I don't know what this is going to be. I would need a calculator. -2 divided by e. It's going to be -2 over e, because the e to the -1 makes that the denominator. So what does this equal? -0.735. -2 times e to the 0. Ooh, I can do that. It's going to be -2. And -2 times e. Well, it's -2 times 2.71828. I'd love someone with a calculator to help me out. I know what that is about. -5.43644, I'll say. All right, so this graph, here's what that -2 does. Oh, where's the asymptote? 0. It's still 0 because there was no h. But notice I have all negative y values. So out here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 2, I have less than 1. -0.7 is about there. Let's go down a little more here. 5, 6. Okay, at 3, I've got -2. At -5.44, it's about here. So the asymptote is still 0. and the points are, over here it's still approaching the x-axis as an asymptote. Here's my trick question for the day, and then we'll be about done. Is this exponential growth or decay?
Growth, because they're both negative.
Great guesses on the decay. This is actually still growth. I know it's still exponential growth is basically, here's a better definition I might have given before. If it's moving away from the x-axis, it's exponential growth. Does that make sense? If left to right, it's moving away. This is negative exponential growth. But we're getting more and more negative absolute value. We're getting more and more negative here. So this is still, pardon?
Well, that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense, doesn't it? So here's my simple rule. If when you go left to right, it's the graph moves away from the x-axis, it is growth, whether it's moving up or down. Okay? If it's moving closer to the x-axis, it's decay, whether it's positive or negative. Think you guys can handle that?
No.
Oh my God. We're doomed then. Questions, comments, concerns, compliments?